Hello viewers! Warm spring days are finally here, it's nice and sunny, which is the perfect moment to replace your car's winter tires with summer ones, as they are better suited for the upcoming high temperatures. But what if you have decided to stick with winter tires and drive on them all year round? Maybe you're thinking they'll do just good, don't want to hassle with tire swapping twice a year, or just can't afford a set of new summer tires at the moment. Well, whatever the reason is, if you opted for this, you should know there are several downsides to consider here. First of all, we have the tread wear. Winter tires will wear out at a much higher rate than summer tires when the temperatures are high. The reason for this is the tire's structure and compound. Winter tire is built to be much softer, which allows it to remain grippy even in freezing conditions. But when you drive on them during summer on scorching hot tarmac, their tread will get so hot that it overheats, significantly increasing its wear. Or to put it simply, the rubber becomes so soft and will wear out much quicker than a summer one, which is built to cope well in such temperatures and conditions. This is especially noticeable when driving fast, such as on highways or open country roads, because the tire's temperature goes up at higher speeds. As you may imagine, the problem will be less prominent if you spend most of your time driving around town where the traffic is slower. In addition, frequent use of winter tires on very hot roads actually deteriorates their performance, hardens them up a bit, so they will have less grip next time you have to drive in the snow. The next disadvantage of using winter tires all year round is increased noise compared when driving on summer tires. This is because, well, take a look at their tread pattern with all these small grooves, whose purpose is to make them more grippy on snow and ice and improve traction in such conditions. But this tread design also makes them louder on dry roads, when they'll drone and hum more than summer tires, whose tread is sleeker and more compact, which gives a smoother ride, especially at higher speeds. Even more, this rugged tread design winter tires have increases their rolling resistance, which means your car will use more gas when driving on them than it would if you had a set of summer tires on. The difference here ranges from 3 to 5%. Not a dramatic figure, but if you cover a lot of miles, it might add up to a considerable amount. Now, both these downsides, increased noise and rolling resistance, are trade-offs you have to live with during the winter, as you want a tire suited to snow and ice. But when the winter is over, there is no point in putting up with this, especially when you consider the third and most important disadvantage of driving on winter tires during the summer. And that's the safety aspect of the whole story. On hot roads, winter tires have a longer stopping distance than a summer tire. And I'm not talking about some small difference here. When braking from 60 miles per hour to a standstill, this can be up to 10 feet. So you can imagine driving down the highway at 70 miles per hour, some calamity happens up ahead. These 10 feet or so can be the difference between stopping safely or having a crash. The reason why winter tires don't do as well as summer ones on hard braking is, again, in their structure. When the rubber overheats, which it will when driving fast on a hot road, its grip goes down, and while summer tires are designed to do well in these conditions, winter ones are far out of their comfort zone. What I must mention here is that these differences in stopping distances are when driving on dry roads, and it's far less on wet roads because the tire temperature won't go up that much. Besides braking, driving on winter tires during the summer will also take its toll on handling. To be more precise, your car is more likely to lose grip and start sliding or spinning when going through a sharp turn. The reason here is, again, the tread design. All these grooves and cuts on winter tires, these will deform on snow, giving the tire a more spiky, grubby surface, improving its traction on loose surfaces. But when driving on dry tarmac, winter tires are actually more wobbly, so to speak, compared to summer tires, which have these solid blocks of rubber that won't deform under loads. Sure, this is something you'll only notice if pushing the car to its limits, not when driving moderately. Now you may think stopping distances and handling performance don't matter that much because your car has ABS and some sort of stability control. But these electronic safety aids, capable as they may be, are no miracle workers and will also struggle if the tire on your car is not up to the job. So after hearing all this, I hope you can now understand that driving on winter tires during the summer isn't the best idea and it also carries some potential risks. With that in mind, my advice here is go and buy a set of summer tires for your car. But what if you just can't afford that at the moment? The money's tight and you'll just have to manage this year on the winter tires you already have on. Well, in that case, the only thing you can and should do is adapt your driving to compensate for the said shortcomings. Obviously, stuff like increased wear and fuel consumption, that's something you can't do much about. But what you can do is drive more moderately, especially on open roads and highways. Leave a bit more gap in front of you, so if there is an emergency braking, you have more room for that potentially longer stopping distance. Also, when driving on some tight, windy roads, take it a bit easier, don't push the car too much. What I must mention here, regardless of what tires you'll have on this summer, make sure their tread has enough depth. If they are too worn, these channels won't be able to push out the water when driving on wet roads, and you may end up skidding and sliding uncontrollably, especially if you go over some larger puddles of water. While on the subject, I really need to mention one handy alternative you should consider: all-weather tires. These are designed and built to combine the qualities of both summer and winter tires while minimizing their respective shortcomings. Or to put it simply, they will do almost as well as summer tires on hot, dry tarmac while still being capable of giving sufficient traction on the snow and ice. This makes them perfect for all of you who would rather not have separate summer and winter sets of tires, and will also save you from going to the tire shop twice a year to swap them around. All-weather tires, however, do have some of their limitations to consider. For one, they wear out quite quicker than summer tires when driving faster when the temperatures are high. So if you cover a lot of miles on the highway during the summer, you're better off with a set of good touring tires, which are designed specifically for such conditions. Also, while all-weather tires can cope with snow and ice, their performance is somewhat less than what true winter tires can provide. So, if you live up north, where the winters are harsh, all-weather tires just might not be enough. But as long as there's not a lot of snow where you live and you don't cover much more than 10,000 miles a year, they might just be the perfect solution for your driving needs. So there you have it, viewers. I hope it's now clear why driving on winter tires during the summer isn't such a great idea. If you feel this video was helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. On the other hand, if you're having some issues with your car, wheels or tires, be sure to check other videos here or visit our site, mechanicbase.com, for detailed automotive repair guides. Bye!